What do women want? That's the subject for today. Um, I don't think they really know half the time what they really want. They talk a lot. They say they want you to listen. They say they want a man that's caring. They say they want a man that's gonna provide, that's gonna um, protect them, that's gonna love them and care for them, and a bunch of other things they say. But what do women really want? They say we don't know what we want. But are men rational? Are men rational or are men emotional? That's the question. See, women work with emotions, which is why we have to be strong, very strong, to deal with them and understand because of their emotions, they're going to be irrational at times. They're going to be irrational. However, does their irrationality does their irrationality make it all right for them to act out in the midst of our rationality? You know, because in our rationality, we get to the money. In our rationality, we see that they're emotional and we walk away. In our rationality, we see that some things just don't deserve responses. Some things don't deserve to be spoke on or addressed. Some things are just what they are, you know? And it's hard to work up under strenuous circumstances when a person is stressed. Irrationality is what keeps us calm, keeps us collective, and collective, calm, collective. You know, our rationality gets when our rationality is, somewhat stressed or taken out of character. It is then that we become emotional, and our emotions derive from their irrationality. So who's right and who's wrong, right? There isn't a right and there isn't a wrong. There's just a middle, and you have to find the middle. A lot of the times it's hard to find the middle when people are stressed, people are up under the weather, people are going through their own personal problems that you might not be aware about. In a relationship, a lot of the times one person's problem is the other person's problem. So, with that being the case, you have to understand that, okay, this person might be going through something that I might not be aware of, or this person might be going through something that I caused. What can I do to fix that? How can I counter that? What can I do to, even a playing field and make it all right? What can I do? So, in the process of a person trying to figure that out, you have to be rational. You can't be emotional, right? Which is why the man has to be the man. Walk away. Sometimes she's gonna act crazy, say shit that you don't want to hear, throw shit at you, probably put her hands on you and all of that. Um, in our community, based on the way we was raised and a lot of people have came up, some people think this is a normal behavior. However, it's not. It's not normal. And it's not normal for a man to put his hands on a woman. It's not normal for a woman to put her hands on a man. However, we have accepted this in the black community. And because we have accepted this in the black community, a lot of people have gone on to um, do these things. A lot of people have gone on to do these things and rationalize it as, oh, that's just what we do, or that's just how that person is. That's just no. That person was taught wrong. That person wasn't properly loved. That person is dealing with a lot of hurt and a lot of pain. And it's gonna take a stronger person to be able to show them that, like, okay, that's not normal. This is not what you do when something doesn't go your way. This is not something that you do when you have a problem with somebody. You talk about it. You exercise your First Amendment right to freedom of speech, and you express these things in a healthy manner. You don't just go saying all kind of willy-nilly shit off the top of your head and out the side of your neck, and then expect them to still love you and to care for you and get, touchy. See, a lot of people think that, okay, make up to break up. I'm gonna cuss his ass out. I'm punch him up. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that, and we're gonna make long, passionate love. It don't work that way. Men don't work like that. Man, you fuck with a man, you piss a man off. It's gonna take him a minute to get over that shit. You gotta make. It's always the man, even though the man get pissed off, even though the man get called all kind of names and all kind of shit. It's always the man that has to make it right with the woman. Why? Because women are emotional. So you gotta take that on the chin. Okay, she done did this, she done did that, and everything like that. But she's emotional, so it's okay. No, it's not fucking okay. It is not okay. You on timeout right now. You done fucked with me. You say I done fucked with you. So we mad. We tripping. We going through whatever we going through. I'm going to walk away. I'm going to give you some time to think about it. I'm going to give you some time to think about it, and I'm going to take some time to think about my wrongs in this situation. And then we're going to come back and we're going to figure this shit out. But in the meantime, in between time, I ain't got shit for you. You mad at me, I'm mad at you. Okay. Go and take your ass in the other room. Now we on what they call it, you on you in the doghouse. You in the goddamn doghouse now. So now you gotta go lay your ass on the couch and go without her for a night. Or go without him for a night. Or 2 nights. Till y'all calm the fuck down and find a medium and come back and get that shit together. Too often, thank you. Too often, people feel as though they can do and say whatever the fuck they want to say to people, and it's not a reaction. No, it's a reaction. There are repercussions. There are definitely repercussions and consequences, so to speak, for those actions that you caused. Hold on for a minute, y'all. I'll be right back. After these messages, we'll be right back. Just looking for my lighter right now. Can't smoke this weed without a lighter. Lord knows I need this weed right now. Lord Jesus knows. But yeah, so I'm back. So that's the question, man. You know, really, I really want to know. We want to get down to the bottom of this shit and figure out what it is that you women want. What the fuck y'all want? And man, what the fuck do y'all want? You know? We say we want a woman like this and a woman like that, a strong black woman. Let's define that. Let's break that down. What is a strong black woman? Is a strong black woman a woman that just ain't gonna take no shit, gonna say whatever the fuck she wanna say to the man, no matter how it make him feel. You know? Is a strong black woman a masculine woman or a feminine woman? Is a strong black woman a smart woman, intelligent woman? That is a woman and a lady and carries herself as such? Even at times, even through trials and tribulations, she's still a woman. She still conducts herself like a lady. She still speaks like a lady. She expresses herself like a lady. She she enunciates her words like a lady. She doesn't curse. She doesn't hit. Why? Because those are expressions of people who cannot express themselves properly. Now, if you can express yourself properly, then what's the need of cursing? What's the need of putting your hands on somebody? What's the need of hurling insults if you can properly express yourself? I love you too. But at the end of the day, you need to know that there's a difference. You don't do certain things if you want to be considered and taken care of and appreciated a certain way. I just let it. Now, men, it's for the fellas. Okay, fellas. So, name of my podcast is Conversations. So, these are conversations with conversations and kinds of all walks of life, you know. Being an ex-felon, coming out of prison, you know, we come with a prison mentality. Some of us are institutionalized. Some of us have yet to deal with things from childhood, you know, things that we've encountered in prison, different traits we've developed. Some of us have yet to deal with these issues. Therefore, we bring these issues to the world. And a lot of the times when we bring these issues to the world, some of these issues aren't necessarily bad traits that we've developed. First of all, some of these traits we've developed aren't necessarily bad traits. Some of them are good. You know, prison can teach you discipline. Prison can teach you self restraint. You know, from beating a bitch ass, right? Um, or beating a nigga ass. Prison can teach you a lot of shit. One thing prison cannot teach you is necessarily how to deal with uh, a woman you know, dealing with a woman in a space that you don't deal with a man. Uh, it's easy for us to react to situations and disrespect a certain way. Beat a nigga ass. First thing come to mind. Oh, you said this, you said that. Whoop, wop, bam. Next thing you know, you in a hole or you in a shoe somewhere. But nigga got the point, right? You put the demo there. Now, you come to society and you got a lot of people that are used to talking a certain way. They're used to being disrespectful. They're used to, addressing certain things and dealing with people a certain way. You walk through these stores, people don't say excuse me, they bump into you, they step on your shoes, they walk right past you, you feel me, and expect you to get the fuck out their way instead of them getting the fuck out your way. So what do? Stepping on shoes is an issue we used to deal with like a motherfucker. And you stepped on my shoes, especially if I had some new Jordans on or some new ones or some, whatever the fuck we was rocking back then. Me, it was my Chucks. You stepped on my Chucks, it was a problem. And the motherfuckers didn't cost nothing but a buck and a quarter. But that was my bucket and my quarter I done spent on that motherfucker. So listen, you step on my shoes, it's a problem. So what did I do? 9 times out of 10, I beat a nigga ass. Now, we in a different stage now though. So, went to the pen, got this number, owe these white, gave these white folks all this time. Now you got a number. Now you got a target on your back because anything you do can and will be held against you in a court of law. So if you bust this nigga mouth open or bust his head, 9 times out of 10, he gonna call the law on you. So we can't do the same things that we did back then. So now, understanding that, how do you deal with that same situation? If somebody step on your shoes, what are you gonna do? I'll tell you like this: I'm not gonna do shit. I'm gonna wipe my shoes off, and I'm gonna keep the line moving. You know why? Cause my shoes ain't worth my freedom. A nigga stepping on my shoes is not worth my freedom. And that's just one example. I could go on and on about different examples. Motherfucker saying excuse me. Motherfucker disrespecting me. A motherfucker doing it. Listen, if a person ain't put their hands on you, leave them alone. Whatever the fuck they do. Because at the end of the day, you can't win. You can't win. You can't win. You can't get out of the game. So you gotta understand that, man. It's a different world right now. You feel me? It's a different world, man. Me personally, when I went to the pen, I first went to the pen. I was 17, right? I got out at 22, went right back in at 22, got back out at 38. So I missed a lot of that shit. So a lot of my growth and a lot of my maturity happened in prison. A lot of the things I went through in prison. You feel me? A lot of the things I learned about life, I learned in prison. And in a sense, that could have damaged me, But I learned. I learned that it's certain things you do and it's certain things you don't do. I learned to be respectful. I learned how to conduct myself around different races. I learned how to be courteous and sociable without being too much sociable or too much courteous. I learned a lot of shit. And when you come out here to this world, you have to understand that it's certain things you do and you don't do. You feel me? In prison, we read a lot of books. We do a lot of studying for a reason. Because we know we're not in society. However, we have to learn how to adjust when we are released back into society. And one of those things we gotta learn is that, number one, you can't react with your emotions. People gonna say and do all kind of little shit to trigger you. People gonna say and do all kind of shit to trigger you. It's up to you to respond. Period. It's up to you to respond. It's all in your approach and it's all in your response. You approach a situation with some negative shit, you're gonna get some negativity out of it. What they say, what you throw in the universe comes right back to you. Same thing with karma. So, those are one of the things you learn. You learn different languages. You learn about your history. You learn about your culture. You learn about yourself. Self-reflection. You gotta reflect. You gotta go sit in that mirror. Every day you go in and out that cell, you walking past that mirror. And you see something different every day. If you're paying attention. If you're not, you just walking by. And it's a lot of people just walking by. In prison and out of prison. They just walking by. They're not seeing who they are. They're not seeing who they around. They're not noticing nothing. And I didn't want to be like that. I didn't want to be another statistic that fell victim to the recidivism and found myself back in prison because of my emotions or because I wasn't paying attention or wasn't aware of who the fuck I was. So, here. So yeah, man. We talked about a few different things today. About time for me to wrap this up. As y'all can see, I got a different location. I'm in a different background right now. You know, made a few different adjustments. Just trying to figure my way out through this maze, man. This maze called life, It comes with all kind of hurdles, trials, tribulations, and shit. But it's all on how you gonna wiggle through it. You could be you could be your worst enemy, your best critic, and your number one supporter, all in one. Cause you gotta understand that you're gonna be criticized. You gotta understand that in order for you to be better, you have to know what's the worst part of you, so that you can work on it and change that to become a better person. Nothing happens overnight, and as much as a lot of us would like to believe that we're perfect and we've done no wrong, we're not. We all fucked up. Bible 7:14, Romans 7:14 say, we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin. That I am doing, I do not understand. For that I wish to do, I do not. But for that I do not wish to do, I do. So we all sinners. And sometimes we do shit that we don't want to do, say things that we don't want to say, because we're not perfect. That's part of being human. You have to accept these facts. You have to accept the fact that you have some shortcomings and you need to work on them, just like I do. That's the only way to grow. That's the only way to grow. You have to go through it to get to it, And if a person is unwilling to grow or unwilling to see that, they'll never be able to see anything if they can't see that. It's the blind leading the blind. So, just take all that in mind, man. I started this podcast off today talking about what do women want, That seems to be the whole question every man wants. But I really don't. It's really not that important to know what women want. It is, but it's something way more important than that. And that's how can you love better? That's the simple question. How can you love better? You know? Because if you love the best that you can love, then that might be all that woman wants. But if you don't, then guess what? You don't. And you won't. And you never understand what women want. But what do you want? That's the better question. What do you want? How do you want this to work out, huh? Tune in, man. Talk to me, people. Let me know something, man. Maybe I ain't figured it out yet. I ain't never proclaimed to be the perfect person and to know everything and know it all. But, I sure try to know as much as I can. I keep an open ear. You feel me? An open mind. You can't never go wrong with an open mind. So, open your mind, man. Open your mind. And maybe you will find somewhere inside the truth lies. Oh, you like that? You like that? You like that? All right, I'm gonna shut the fuck up, though. Stop fucking with y'all, man. Seriously, though, man. We gotta do better, people. That's what it boils down to, man. We gotta do better. And I think we can. You know what I'm saying? I really do. Just start. You gotta start from inside, You gotta start from the person inside. You gotta start with you, man. You can't worry about what the next person is doing if you're not doing what you're doing. You feel me? You gotta start. You gotta start with you. You feel me? Can't worry about it. Only thing that you can control is you. You can't control what the world is doing. You can't control what she do, what he do, what they doing. You can't control none of that. All you can control is you. Worry about you. And they'll worry about them. Y'all stay blessed.